Yes, it is Friday afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Day to Day with Dorothy. I am your host, Dorothy McBride, also known as, right? I have all these AKAs, also known as your personal change agent and, of course, your business bestie. I am one half of the whole here at the LipLock firm, and the other half of the whole, my business partner, Shayla Vernado. We are the co-founders of the hottest business boutique in town, focused on business strategy and marketing, personal and leadership development. So we are fans of It Takes Two, me and her. So here we are on another episode of Day to Day with Dorothy, and we are still in our series, Consistency Will Get You Everywhere. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about my Fan-ta-ta-ssy. I'm not a singer, don't judge me. But my fantasy, what is it? Mastering the art of follow-up. Follow-up, follow-up. That's where the favor is, right? In the follow-up. But so many of us, myself included, are not very good at following up. We don't always do a good job of closing the loop. So we can open up the conversation, but we don't always put a bow on it and finish it out. So that's what I want to talk about today. So again, welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in, and happy to be a part of your break time on Friday afternoon as we get ready to barrel into the weekend. And if you're in the Midwest, I know the weather has been crazy. It's been like -40. I didn't even know that was a thing. That seems like inhumane treatment to me. Like, that's too cold. I try to explain to my friends in California what that might feel like. And the best I could come up with is that it feels like your face is burning off, when you go outside. But that's just me. I'm an island girl, so I don't know what to do in such frigid temperatures. But as we jump into this content, you might have some business besties that you're like, oh man, they could really, really start to work on their follow-up game. So share this video so that as we jump in, you're not the only one with a few tips and tricks up your sleeve. You're sharing it with a friend, right? Part of leadership is being able to influence, and one way to influence is with knowledge and information. So let's get into it. I want to share 4 tips and tricks that are part of my follow-up fantasy. So as I was gearing up for this topic, I wanted to make sure that I did a little bit of research to really bolster what I wanted us to talk about today. So I've got 4 tips. Tip number 1, be overly polite and humble. I know you might be thinking, like, who wouldn't be? But you'd be surprised. Sometimes when we're in the process of following up, we might send crazy emails per my last email, or we might say, you're ignoring me, or what happened? I feel like you're not responding to me. But when we approach following up with a sense of politeness and humility, what happens is the receiver can sense that, and they know that we're trying to honor how busy they are. So you and I are super busy. Why would we think that the folks that we're wanting to get in touch with aren't busy? And I think so often, under this umbrella of follow-up, a lot of us feel like, ooh, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to bother the person. I don't want to bombard them. But then think about all the times when people follow up with you and you're like, I am so glad we followed up because this was on my mind. I kept forgetting. That happens I know it happens to me all the time. And I'm glad when people follow up because sometimes, geez Louise, I'm forgetful. So when they circle back around the bend with me, I'm like, oh, thank God, at least one of us is remembering things. So being polite and being humble and understanding that folks are busy, and the same way that you and I could easily forget the folks that we're trying to get in touch with and get responses from, they could easily forget as well. And oftentimes, I feel like people appreciate the follow-up because we all have these really long to-do lists, and sometimes we don't make it through our entire list. So when people are streamlining the process for us, I think it helps a ton. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, when we're following up, checking in, doing our due diligence, tying up those ends, Mondays are not a good day. So we might be thinking, like, as we're doing our Sunday work, like, ooh, I'm going to follow up them first thing. But Mondays aren't a good day for follow-up, especially if we don't want to get lost in translation, just lost in the flow. Mondays, people are trying to catch up. I know some people call their Mondays manic Mondays. And people are really trying to recuperate from the weekend, ease into their work week, catch up on things, prepare for work travel. All of those things typically are happening on Monday. And Mondays sometimes just end up being a whirlwind for so many of us. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, oftentimes those are the days that we're allocating to get stuff done, really tie up the loose ends, and then follow up and check in. So if you're going to follow up, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are great days to do that. But stay away from Monday. And then so that was number 2. Number 3, send good energy to the person you're following up with. There's magic in the universe when we're in alignment, we're sending good energy. And you might be thinking, like, how? Especially if we're not talking on the phone. But people can sense tone, and they can sense that through your email. So if you can bring a little bit of enthusiasm and buoyancy, a little bit of magnetism, likability, and authenticity to your follow-up, that is going to make all the difference. Plus, if you're memorable, then you're going to make it to the top of somebody's to-do list because they want to interact with you. They want to make sure that they follow up. And they don't want to be the one who keeps forgetting to respond, especially when you add a little bit of magic and a little bit of good vibe and good energy that you're sending their way, and then still acknowledging that you know that folks are busy. So that's tip number 3. And tip number 4, directly ask if you should stop reaching out. This, when I was doing my research, this is the one that I have seen most often in the last, I'd say, like 6 to 8 months. People literally, and this is because sometimes I am bad at responding, especially if someone's trying to sell me something, even if it's something that I want. They'll be like, oh, when can I set up time with you to show you what we do? Or when can I show you how I can do this or do that? And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, that would be good. Maybe I should sit down. And then I forget to sit down with them. So this strategy, I think, is twofold. So A, we kind of start off thinking like, oh man, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be a bother. Whether we're at work, we're at our 9 to 5, at our 5 to 9, or in any of those spaces, we're trying to sell something and we don't want to be pushy or annoying. But here's the thing, fundamentally, most people like it when we follow up. But what research shows is that when you directly ask, should I stop bothering you, or should I stop reaching out because I don't want to waste your time, I don't want to waste mine, I don't want to be a bother, people usually respond to that one. And that I saw in an article by HubSpot. It's sort of like a twofer approach where people could literally say, yes, stop bugging me, or they're like, oh crap, come over. I want to see what your company has to offer, how they're going to streamline our processes, whatever the case may be. So it also shows that you are being respectful. So you don't want to be like rude about it, but just checking in. Hey, I don't want to be a bother, so should I keep following up, or should I give it a rest? Let me know, and I want to take the lead from there. So those are the 4 tips. Be overly polite and humble. Avoid Monday morning. Stick to Tuesday or Wednesday. Send good energy and good vibes to the person that you're following up with. Being magnetic, likable, being authentic, of course. And directly ask if you should stop reaching out. And of course, in this space of following up, make sure that you're aligned. You're in a good space. And you've got like your vision and mission top of mind as you're executing in these tasks. And then actually, I have a bonus tip. So this one, I was reading a story about a woman who's a writer, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta share. For anybody who's like maybe in a creative space where you get rejected a lot, I thought this tip might be great. And so some of you may know that I write all the time, and I do editing, but I like to write to be able to get published in publications, to really make sure that I'm staying abreast of the skill set, right? So when you're a writer, I think you get rejected a lot. And you kind of have to get like this crocodile skin, right, about what happens when you get rejected. So sometimes when you submit to be featured or showcased, they may respond back to you like, oh, this isn't going to be a good fit, or maybe next time. They will respond with something. And so what this writer did, she had submitted an article to like Cosmopolitan, and they rejected her. And she kept submitting the article until another publication picked it up. And what she did, because she got a response from Cosmo, what she did was, once the article got published, showcased, had artwork and everything like that, she responded back to Cosmo saying, hey, thank you so much for considering me and suggesting that I find, a different home for the content. I did find a home, but I wanted to just follow up and say thank you for, even considering me. And do you know, Cosmo responded back and offered to run that same article and paid her 5 times what the other publication had paid her. So now her article was featured in 2 places. So there is some benefit to responding well to rejection. So that is the bonus tip. Respond well to rejection, because sometimes people will just say no when you're trying to follow up or, get in there to shoot your shot and get your opportunity, but you don't want to be a sore loser. And that's my bonus tip, a story of a time where it went really well. So reviewing Dorothy's follow-up fantasy, as we are all on this journey to master the art of follow-up as we lead in our personal and professional lives. So be overly polite and humble, avoid Monday morning, send good energy to the person that you are following up with, directly ask, should I stop reaching out? And bonus tip, respond well to rejection. So if you are loving this content, you are taking the time to engage in some personal development, then you may enjoy a special snack that I have prepared just for the Business Besties. This is my Consistency Will Get You Everywhere worksheet. Your day as a goal getter. So if you are interested in purchasing this worksheet, it is $9. You can click the link and it will take you to the website so that you can check out this wonderful worksheet as you plan your day. Because here's the thing, if consistency is going to get us everywhere, we need to be planful and visualize what our days are going to look like when we're being more consistent, meaning that we are adding a little bit more structure to our mix. We are avoiding the distractions, and we are following up and getting into alignment. But in order to do these things, they're not just going to magically happen. We've got to put it together on paper. Writing things down makes a difference, even in this technological day and age. So this is the handy dandy Consistency Will Get You Everywhere worksheet, just $9 if you'd like to take a look and participate in your own self-development. So I will put a link in the show notes, and then if you're tuning in on Instagram, I will go ahead and put a link in the bio so that you can nab your copy of the Consistency Will Get You Everywhere worksheet. I've created it just for you. I know that we are all on a mission. So moving right along, the giveaway. So last week's winner, if you were tuning in, and I had put out some things on social media, our winner last week was Tomira. So she is going to be bestie bonding with yours truly, the personal change agent. So you have a chance to win as well. what would you be winning? You'd be winning 20 minutes of one-on-one time with me for free. And what would happen is I would send you a Calendly link, and then you could book some coaching and bestie bonding with yours truly, the personal change agent, who is always dancing you on the book and the gram. So here's how it works. All you have to do is share this video. Share, share, share. But here's the other thing. Make sure you write, consistency will get you everywhere. Share it in the comments so that I know how to find you to get you that Calendly link. And then I am going to pick a winner on Monday night. So even if you're watching the replay, you, my friend, my business bestie, you still have a chance to win. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Day to Day with Dorothy. We always hang out and take a quick break on Friday afternoons, and always bring you tips on leadership and personal development. I am your host, Dorothy McBride, and you know what? I hope you have an amazing weekend. I hope you stay warm, and I value that you value your personal development. That's what it takes to be a leader, and on this thing called life and leadership journeys, we can only do our best. So, until next time, my friends, enjoy your follow-up fantasy. Dun, 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 dun.